Hey baddies, welcome back to the channel. So today is my first cash stuffing for the month of almost said August, of January. Today I'm going to walk you through all the things that I do to get ready to cash stuff, and hopefully this video answers more of your questions about how things work. If that sounds like something that you're interested in today, stay tuned. First things first, my little niece is in there in the tub. I can't shut the door. My other niece is bathing her, but I don't believe in shutting doors on kids in tubs. So if you hear her singing in the bathroom, that's what that is. All right. So what I typically do is go over my month, but I am having some pages added to my month. Some taken out of my budgeting system because I feel like they aren't functional. So I should have all of that by Wednesday, and once that's here, I'll record a video over how I prepare and budget for the month. But I didn't want to include that because it is changing, so I feel like that didn't make sense. So after I've done all that, the next thing I do is plan my bills for the month, and I'll also show that in that video. And then I go through my individual paychecks. So when you see me cash stuffing, that means I was paid. I know a lot of people have questions about what if I'm paid monthly or bi-weekly. It doesn't matter. What the method you see me using, you just use it with your pay frequency. So if you're paid every 2 weeks, you cash stuff every 2 weeks. If you're paid once a month, you budget and cash stuff once a month. All right. So now let's get into this actual budget sheet. If you hate mine, there are tons of ladies who make them. As more people get into budgeting, more people are making them. So just find one that works for you. But I like this one because I have more sinking funds than anything else. So I created this for me. So the first section here that I use is I go ahead and date it. And then this is your income section. Okay. And so we break down our income. So typically I have more than one income, but this is an odd week. So I only have my income from my budgeting business. So my business deposited into my personal account $1,412. It's more like $1,450 or whatever, but I leave some for a buffer. And so this is what I pull out to cash stuff. Previously, I would just leave in this portion and it would be auto drafted, but for visual purposes, I'll be pulling it. So here's what I was paid, went to the bank, got the cash, and here is what we're going to use to budget. So we write our total here. Technically, our remaining, we haven't spent anything. So we have $1,412 to work with. So next for me, and probably most people, you will pay bills, right? So we have a budget versus actual, because I can say, I think my utilities will be about $175 this month, and they actually end up being another amount. Some people like to track that, so I added it here. I'm going to go ahead and go in and add in my bills and the amounts. I've kind of averaged them out and I broke them down. So if a bill was $100 a month, I'll be stuffing $25 per paycheck, okay? So that when it's time to pay the bill, I'll have the money there. But the way I'll be paying my bills is, let me show you. I'm a visual person, so there may be some visual people out here. Okay, so I created a month ahead fund, and I fund that throughout the month. I had already, this was ready for January. So there's $1,200 in here. So what I'll go ahead and do is deposit this money in the bank, and it will cover all of January's bills. And I'll continue stuffing January's bills. So at the end of the month, when this is full, this money will go here until it's time to go into the bank, and I'll restuff for another month. So then, in the event that anything happens or I need money for another reason, I always have the money for my bills a month ahead. Okay. So I'm going to go in and fill out my bill amounts, and I'll be right back.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already.
So I have now got the amounts in. And again, this is the budgeted amount. Sometimes T-Mobile is a little more expensive, a little cheaper. Sometimes streaming services, I'll cancel them and so there'll be extra. But this is, at least if I stuff this much, I'll have enough for what I need. Okay, so then the next thing I do is I go in and add up these amounts. And so my total is $312. So our bills are going to cost us $312 this week. So the next step is to figure out how much money we have left going forward. So we take our income remaining, which is $1412. We subtract our bills, which is $312, and that gives us $1,100 to cash stuff. Okay, so here in our remaining, we're going to add $1,100. All right, so up next, we have our cash envelopes, and these are called variable expenses, I believe is what most people call them. So I just consider this the money that you spend, right? So this is the money, when people see me with all of these wallets, they assume that I carry these all the time. I do not. The only one I carry is my cash envelope wallet. And that's the one that goes in my purse. It looks, I don't have it in here with me, I don't think. No, it looks like, you know, it's my little pink wallet. And so inside of that, you want to include your personal variable expenses. So for me, every week I need gas money. I need grocery money, money to do laundry because our dryer is broken. I need extra money just in case anything comes up and I need to do a little shopping. It also makes me feel great that if I go somewhere, there's a few bucks there to be able to, you know, if I'm in Target or somewhere, that I'm not super limited by my budget. So it gives me a little bit of like shopping money, and then money to eat out, which typically I pay for DoorDash with. I just use my credit card and then pay my credit card back. But for you, this could be kids, this could be snacks, this could be, you know, a plethora of things. Whatever you need to look at your own daily life. Some people have one for Starbucks. Like, don't limit yourself. Allow this section of money to provide what you need during the week. Okay, so next I'm going to fill in the amounts I need for my variable expenses. I actually had to go pick up my nieces this week, so my car is already gassed up. So I work from home, so I don't drive a lot, so I won't be needing any gas this week. I typically put 20, but my tank is full. Groceries will be receiving $100 this month. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but if you do, you know I'm starting this whole health thing this year, and buying fruits and vegetables is expensive because they go bad so fast. So $100 a week does it for me. Laundry is just $20. We just have to dry our clothes. Extra, again, there's that little shopping money. This week it's only $10 because I won't be going anywhere. And eating out, we have a $25 budget because, again, trying to cook more and have a healthier lifestyle. So yeah. So next step, I add up the totals for my cash envelopes. So my total is $155. Okay. And so then we are going to figure out what we have left to move over to our other columns. So we're going to take our 1,100 minus 155. That leaves us with $945 to basically cash stuff in our sinking funds, our savings, and our extra debt. Okay, so in an ideal world, I would move over to sinking funds next. But the way my brain works, I work backwards. So because I have goals, if you guys know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, I am attacking student loan debt. And I also have challenges that I just came out with that I also want to participate in. So because these are vital, I don't want to pay them with leftover money after my sinking funds. I want to pay them first. So I'm going to go through these first. So we're going to look into our 52-week challenge and see what we are going to save this week. And I'm going to go ahead and do, let's do $85 this week. Okay, to leave some room for that monthly challenge. So I'm going to do $85 towards my 52-week challenge, which I know if several people have had questions about a 52-week challenge. So this is a smaller version of the one that's in my savings book. This is like the A6 version. This is a ghetto one that I messed up, so I just took it. But basically, this was made for me because I was weekly. I never went back and made a 26-week one. So you pick one number per week and stuff it into an envelope. You'll have $5,000 at the end of the year. If you're bi-weekly, if you're paid every 2 weeks, pick 2 numbers. If you're paid once a month, pick 4, okay? Alrighty, so up next we have our monthly savings challenge. So we're going to go look at January. And if you've purchased these from me, you kind of already know the numbers. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the high income set. So for my first week, what you do is you pick a number. You can either pick one of the wine glasses or the bottle. I'm going to go with this one. I'll do the median number. So I'm going to add 25. Okay. All right. So we're going to add $25 to that challenge. Uh-oh. That's a ghetto 0. So we're going to take 85 plus 25. That gives us $110. So because technically this is the last piece on the sheet, your budget should be 0 after stuffing these. So I'm gonna go ahead and put 0, because if I was working from top to bottom, that's how it would work. So now I know that I need $110 remaining from this one to be able to pay these, right? So I know I need $110 here. And in my student loans, I have 2 here because typically, like, if I pay one off and I have some left over, I'll go to the next one. But I won't be paying one off this week. So we're just going to be adding $200 this week to our student loans. And we're not going to do that one. So the total should be 200. Okay, and we should have 110 remaining, which means for this remaining, we have to add this one and this one. I hope that makes sense, y'all. I have to work backwards to get my brain to function. So $310 is what we should have left after we stuff our sinking funds. So to ensure that we have that 310, we are going to take this $945 that we had remaining minus the $310 that we need for debt and extra savings, and that gives us, I hit delete, 945 minus 310 gives us $635 to play with in our sinking funds. So I just write that up here. Okay, and so what we're now going to do is go in and cash stuff our sinking funds. The first one I try to always attack is savings, and I give savings 10% of what I bring home. So typically I add the other 10% inside my account, but since I'm pulling all the money, I'll do the whole thing. So savings will be receiving $142. So over here on the side, what I do is I add them out, is I just go ahead and subtract it. So I know I have $493 to work with now. Okay, I'm going to take a quick pause because I know the next question is going to be, how do I figure out what to put in each sinking fund? First things first, what is a sinking fund? So a sinking fund is pretty much a way to save money by setting aside a little bit each month, right? So the example I always give people, because it's the easiest to relate for most people, is Christmas. Most people have a Christmas or a holiday sinking fund. And a pretty beginner amount to need in that fund is $1,000. That's what most people shoot for. Some people have a little less, some people have a little more. So since we're in January, if I wanted $1,000 in my sinking fund by Christmas, I know that there are, okay, here's my logic though. I know that there are 12 months in the year, but I want this fund to finish in time for me to spend it. So I would want it to finish by November. So I'm going to say 11 months. Okay. So we're going to take the $1,000 that we need divided by the number of months we have to save it. Okay, so 1,000 divided by 11 months, that leaves us with $90.90. So basically $91. Okay, so that gives us $91. Remember, we divided by months, so that's per month. So if you get paid monthly, that's what you'd be adding to your Christmas sinking fund. If you get paid bi-weekly, oh Lord Jesus, not the click-clack trying to run away from me. You'd be adding $45.50, which is essentially $46. Okay, and if you're a weekly paid person like me, we're going to divide that by 2. That means we'll be adding about $22 or $23 per month. Per week. Sorry, she's having a fit. She don't want to get out the tub, y'all. So, to get my Christmas sinking fund to $1,000 in 11 months, which means it would finish around the end of November, beginning of November, I would be adding $91 a month. So for me, I'd be adding $23 a week, which is about what I'm adding, 21 or so this week, to get me there. Okay, so this is if you are wanting to time base all of your sinking funds. For me, I do this for like Christmas. I do it for last year. I did it for my Roth IRA. Did I have any other time-based ones? I did it for my car because I needed my car to have a certain amount by a certain time. I cash paid my car. And that's it really. The other ones I do this way. So another way to figure out your sinking funds. So if they're not time-based within the year, I just pretty much allot money according to, so I know that if, okay, so we'll look at, let's see which fund I want to look at. We'll look at boobies. So I'm adding pretty much $50 a week for a breast reduction. So $50 times 4 weeks, right? So that gives me $200 a month towards my breast reduction. So there are 12 months in a year, which gives me $2,400. I want to lose weight first, and there's some other things that I'm wanting to do first. And so I gave myself 3 years to get that money. Right? And so I knew that I needed about $7,000 or so, just in case I have to finance it myself and go out of the country, which I don't want to have to do, but you know, health insurance. So I needed about $7,000 to do it. So I pretty much just broke down what I needed over 3 years, divided it by months, and then down by weeks. And you know, with sinking funds, y'all, there's not a perfect method I can give you. Your personal goals will pretty much say how much goes where. Some weeks I literally just break the money down as I can, making sure to give funds minimum amounts because I know that's what I want to be adding. Like for instance, my boobies fund, my month ahead, and my debt, they all at least need to receive $50. Everything else I just kind of fund, and because I'm okay with them growing as they can. It may be really important for you to have a car maintenance fund, so you may want to have $1,000 in there by July or whatever. Then you do the same thing. Take your $1,000 divided by 5 months and figure out how much you need to be adding. But if you have other funds and it's like, I don't know how much I want to have, just set a certain amount. $25 every paycheck goes here no matter what, and stick to it. Some weeks you may be able to add 40. Do that, but never go below the number line that you set. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So now, y'all, I'm sorry about the yelling baby. She's 2. I'm not gonna choke her out for yelling. Okay, so next up we have our debt. Let's see, where did we start? We had $635 minus $142 that we added for savings. Make sure I'm staying in frame. So for debt this time, I'm going to be adding $127. Weird number, I know. So that leaves us with $366 for my manifestation, which is my my new life binder or whatever. I'm going to be adding $50. That's my minimum for that binder. Let's see, emergency fund, the minimum there is $25. Fitness, which is a new one I added in. That's just if I want to buy supplements or new workout equipment. I'll have money for that, so that one will be receiving $25. Healthcare will be receiving $20. And y'all have already worked these out, so I won't bother you with the calculator. My miscellaneous fund will be receiving $25. Travel will be receiving $10. This is my funds here, $10. Holidays will be receiving $21. Again, that's me saving up for Christmas. Car maintenance will be receiving $15. So let me go ahead and add this up and make sure I'm on track. $470. $165. Okay, so Rico is one of those funds that was fully funded for the year, and I went ahead and closed him out, and he just doesn't, I don't need to start restuffing again for Rico. He doesn't spend that much money. He's a very low maintenance pet, so I'm going to just go ahead and not give him anything. When it's next time to buy him food, then I'll start stuffing again. So like we were talking about, my breast reduction gets $50. Our month ahead fund, I'm going to come back to. Giving is going to receive $20. Family time is going to receive $20 as well. So then we're going to give that last $75 to month ahead. Okay, so that will give us our $635 that we need, which will even out our paycheck. So what we have done in essence is get paid, and we've given every dollar a place. So our bills are paid, we have money for the week, we're saving for our future, we are paying off debt, and we have savings for ourselves. And so we end with $0. And if you don't have loans or debt or whatever, just go from cash envelopes to sinking funds, spend that money how you want, and then use the leftover as you please. But to ensure that I can pay my student loans and my savings challenges, I just make sure to do those first, y'all. Okay, so this is the first step of the budget. So once I have done this, I'm like, okay, everything looks good. The second thing I do is I go ahead and go in to my binder and I fill out the trackers, right? So I know that I'm supposed to be cash stuffing today. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it today or in the morning. But I should be adding $142 to savings and my balance should be $142. I've cleared this envelope out, so I know that what should be in here is $142. And so I go through and fill that out for all of my trackers. Okay, and then I need to get prepared to go to the bank. So these are called teller slips. You can get these pretty much anywhere. This is what you take to the bank to show the teller how much money that you need and how it needs to be broken down. Okay, but what you use to get to that point, let me find it. So the first thing we're gonna do here is, if you have an iPad, there's so many cool things you can do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and select my sinking funds here with this lasso tool, long press, and then I'm going to copy them. So then I'm going to move over to what is called a sinking funds breakdown, and I'm going to paste those categories here so that I don't have to rewrite them, save me some time. So this sinking funds breakdown will help you get prepared to go to the bank, right? So what I've done is move over my actual sinking funds. There's my titles. Okay, and so what you essentially want to do on this sheet is figure out how much money to take to the teller. This is for newbie budgeters. I can pretty much run through my budget with the teller slip over here and just check it down. But if you're new, use this sheet to figure out what amounts that you need to take to the bank. So I don't have all my funds here. I'm just going to show you these right now so that you can see what it looks like to do that. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to lasso the amounts that I am putting in these funds. I'm going to copy those, go back here, paste those. So let's just look through these. I won't move all these because it takes forever. But what we'll look at first is savings. So for my savings fund, I know I need $142. So over here in these columns, there's 100, 50, 20, 10, 5, and 1s. These are the denominations that you'll need from the bank. So to fill my savings, I know I need one. Oh, let me get the pen. I know I'll need one $100 bill, two 20s, and two 1s. So that's 100, 20, 40, 41, 42, right? Next up is debt. I need 100, 20, 5, 6, 7. Manifestation just needs a 50. Emergency needs 25. Fitness needs 25. Healthcare needs 20. And if you wanted to put two 10s in healthcare, then just select two 10s. I try to pick the biggest bill because my envelopes tend to get pretty full. So our miscellaneous fund here needs 25. Travel needs 10. And so on and so forth, okay? And so once you finish and you've got all of your funds added up, you want to, go through and check that everybody's covered, we're all good. And so then you come down here to the end, to the total line, and you want to total up the amounts for these lines. So for hundreds, for right now, it looks like I need two $100 bills. I need one 50. I need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 20s. I need one $10 bill. I need four $5 bills. And I need four $1 bills. So I look here at these numbers and I need, 2, 1, 7, 1, 4, 4, right? So what you would do then is move those numbers over to your cash breakdown. So I forget what it was, 2, 1, 7, 1, 4, 4, something like that. And what I like to do at this point is I have my numbers here, so I know two 100s is $200. 150 is $50. 720s is 140. 10, 20, and 4. And then add up this total here. So 250, 140, 10, 20, and 4. So let's say our total would be 424. If we had went through and done the whole thing, this total should match up with our income so that we can make sure that we got the right amount from the teller and we're asking for the right amount. So technically, if you bought this from me, you can print these out and use them that way. Or you can just buy one from whoever, it doesn't really matter. And so then you just send this up with your ID to the teller and get your cash back, come home and cash stuff, okay? So that's it. So you'd bring your cash, you'd come home, sit down with this, get your little cash tray or whatever you use, and then work through your budget, okay? And so that's as far as this video is going to go today. I hope I have touched base on everything. I've already completed this budget, so I didn't want to go through and do this whole sheet again, but I have this all done for this sheet, and so I'm actually headed to get the cash here in just a moment. And if it's not too dark, I will record the cash stuffing and add it to this video. But if you don't see it on this video, it'll be on the next one, or if this is way too long, okay? So now we are ready to cash stuff, and I will talk you guys through that, okay? So again, I have this budget sheet for sale. It's like $7. You can buy it and add it to your GoodNotes. GoodNotes is what I use it in, but I love GoodNotes. So go to your download, open your download. There's a share button up here, the little box with the arrow. Hit the share button. Scroll down and hit open in GoodNotes, and it will open it in GoodNotes. And if you're in the folder that you already want to use, just import it to current document and it will bring it in. I'm not doing that again because I have to go through and delete it. But you can make it the last page, the first page of that document, before the current page, or you can import it as a new document, okay? So that's how you do that. But yeah, y'all, this is how I map out my budget. The next thing will be cash stuffing, and you will probably see that in the next video because this video is long as crap, okay? I hope this helps. I know a lot of you guys are beginners. If I missed something, please leave a comment asking, and I will try to do better in the next cash stuffing to inform you better. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have stayed through this entire video, please leave a black heart next to your comment, and I will be giving away a digital copy of my budgeting workbook. Alrighty? Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great week. Bye.
I found love, the real love. Let this be the real